Single, a mom, an entrepreneur, juggling it all and talking about topics while on the go. Hi, I'm Lisa Waldron, and this is GO10LISA podcast. Are you ready to listen to the best podcast that's real, inspiring, and sometimes cringe? Okay, get ready, get comfy, and go! Hello, everyone. This is On the Go, and I am your host, Lisa Waldron. So, this is what happened the other day, guys. So, this was around MLK Day. This is in January. And basically, I was talking to this guy, right? I was at the I was at the gas station. And I saw this guy, and basically, he was working next to the gas station. But what happened is that he got an Uber and he left his company truck at the gas station, right? And basically the reason why he did that was because he was like, it's MLK, Martin Luther King Day, and there's no way they're going to have me working. So he actually took an Uber to go home and then going to check in later on. He didn't live far. And it was so funny to me because I was like, his vehicle has a camera. So technically, because they're doing work next to the gas station or whatever, the camera is maybe I'm, telling his little secret or whatever. But it's a sad situation because I'm bringing it up because there's a lot of companies that still don't recognize MLK Day, which is normally the third Monday of January, roughly around that, second or third. But basically, I know in Georgia, they celebrate it, but in Florida, they don't, and other states. But even if they recognize and celebrate it in Georgia, for example, there's still people working on that day, and there's still people who are not even being paid time and a half for that day. I've spoken to several people throughout the years, guys, and I'm just like, wow. And don't even get me started on Juneteenth, because they don't even recognize that at all, which technically it is a holiday in the States. But yeah, it's like it's recognized. The banks are closed. Lots of places are closed, but a lot of companies don't recognize it officially. So I'm just like, wow, this is On the Go. Now, on to today's episode. Hi, everyone. I'm your host, Lisa Waldron, and this is GO10LISA podcast. GO10LISA podcast is available on any podcast app. Just type in Go, the number 10, followed by LISA. It's all one word, GO10LISA. GO10LISA could be found on any podcast app, also on Instagram, and now on YouTube. So guys, if you have been listening to my podcasts, because this is, after all, season 24, you will know that I was the only person out there that was a big advocate for Meghan Markle and Kanye West, right? But before all of them, there was Kate Middleton. Before Meghan came into the picture and married Prince Harry, there was Kate Middleton, who married his brother, Prince William, right? So here we are in February of 2024, and I'm not gonna kid you all. I've been following the royal family since I was little, okay? And only because somebody asked me when I was younger, who is my role model? And I didn't have anybody as my role model. I don't think we were brought up to say, this is your role model, you know what I mean? So then I thought about it because, with kids and peer pressure, they're always like, you don't have a role model? You don't have someone that you look up to? But basically, as an adult, looking back at that time when I was asked that question, I didn't need to look outside because I had, people in my family or whatever, but I don't know. I think as young kids, I was just, busy playing or doing something or whatever. My mind was on more serious things than who was who's my role model. But anyway, so then I was like, okay, let me try and think of somebody to become my role model. And around that time, was the whole Diana thing, not to age myself or anything, but that was the whole Diana period. So then I started cutting out stuff and trying to keep a scrapbook. And I was like, okay, maybe this will be, you know, worth something, or I don't know. I think it was back then, it was like keep a scrapbook. I think I must have kept the scrapbook for a couple of years, and I was like, this is all over TV. This is never going to go away. So I think I just ditched the scrapbook. But then I still kept watch of the entire royal family. I would always talk about the royal family to my friends and family. And then I did follow Kate Middleton when she married William and everything. But my whole views on the royal family changed when Meghan came into the picture. But today we're not going to talk about Meghan. Today we're going to talk about Kate. Because as I said, I'm one of the few, or if only person out there picking up, rooting for Meghan or understand I don't think anybody understands what that woman is going through. I don't think anybody understands what Kanye is going through. You know what I mean? But I will talk about them later on in this season because I will. But I just had to talk about Kate because after all, I did follow her before Meghan came into the picture. And I wasn't like, oh, she's my role model or whatever. I was just looking at their whole dynamics, especially between her and her sister, which if you notice, the sister got a lot of attention when Kate was getting married because of her outfit and how it was silhouetting and showing off her figure. And basically, I was following Kate because I wanted to follow what her diet recipes were and what it is that she's eating to maintain her figure and all that kind of stuff, and the smoothie, the recipes and all that kind of stuff. So I had my views, and then I just stopped following her when Meghan, and the whole thing, because I'll say it again, I think the majority of the British people are racist. I really do. And I will stick by that. It's sad for me to say that, but the proof is right there. You know what I mean? Here it is. Okay, I'm going to talk about Meghan a little bit. Here it is that Meghan Markle and her husband, Prince Harry, just went to Jamaica for the opening of the One Love, the Bob Marley One Love movie, right? Because they're friends of Ziggy Marley and whatever. They came to Jamaica. Now, put the pieces together because, I do have a detective mind, a mysterious mind here. People were saying, on the internet, like, why didn't they go to the Los Angeles movie opening premiere there? But I think it's all calculated, guys. I was going to do my full research and map it out, but I think I'm just going to just talk it straight through because I think we're being lied to. I honestly do. I don't know why it is that I keep feeling, allegedly, this is just my feeling, that maybe William had an outburst or something, and maybe she fell, injured herself, and had to have surgery, and that's what the big cover-up. I don't know. It's a whole bunch of conspiracy things I will be talking about in my own little brain of what's going on. And at the end of the day, it's going to be that, oh, here she is. And then all of us look like idiots talking about this family, which we have no business talking about and speculating or whatever. But I do want to point out some stuff about why I'm talking about it, because I find it kind of strange, all the things that have been happening. So then the question is, where is Kate Middleton? Where is she? Where has she been hiding? What is the cover-up? So basically, let me just backtrack for anybody who doesn't know who Kate Middleton is. Kate Middleton is a girl that, by the way, you guys have to watch The Crown on Netflix. That will give you some more insight into the royal family. And to this day, I still believe that somebody in the royal family was their consultant, because there's no way you can do all that research and have those intimate little details of what's going on behind closed doors. But I digress from that. It's a very, very good show to watch. I'm just sad that it ended and whatever. But Kate met William in college, right, in England. And basically, it was her mother who delayed her, and her mother kind of strategically planned it to where she would be in the same school year as William and probably in the same interests and stuff like that, right? Now, I'm going to do a little bit of comparison right here, that when Meghan did something similar when she met Harry, meaning that she did some philanthropy explorations in different countries, similar to what Harry did. People said it was this and that. But anyway, I think it's all strategic. And I know I may sound like I'm all over the place, but stick with me. It will all come together. So here it is, that's how they met. William, I believe, is jealous of Harry. That's what all siblings are, jealous of each other. Trust me, I know. All siblings have some kind of tendency, like there's some kind of rivalry or whatever. I don't know what it is, but whether it's the boys or the girls, whatever, there's some kind of sibling rivalry going on out there in families. And I think somebody brought up a very good point from a video I was watching, where they said that Harry is just like Prince Charles, who is now King Charles, right? Because Harry fought for the woman that he loved, and so did Charles. And I never thought about it, as much as I followed them, I never thought about it in that aspect, which is true. But Charles was such I don't want to say mama's boy, but he was such in respect of his mother and didn't want to go against the crown and whatever, that he stuck by the rules. And even though they didn't want him to marry Camilla, and made him marry Princess Diana, and therefore had the two boys, which are William and Harry, and then when Diana died, he finally was able to marry Camilla. Then when he married Camilla, the queen died, and then Charles became king, and then he made his wife, Camilla, the queen consort. So keep track of this. So basically, we all know who the royal family is. I think everybody knows. They may not follow them, but they know who they are and what have you. But like I said, I've been following them for years, and I kind of kept distant in regards to William and Kate or whatever. But it's very interesting that we don't see Pippa, which is Kate's sister, because Kate has a brother and a sister. And ever since she got all of the attention at her sister's wedding, Pippa actually got married herself to a rich person and have babies as well. You know what I mean? Because William and Kate has 3 children. And they're the heirs to the throne as well. But here is the thing. Recently, Kate Middleton parents have been involved in some kind of scandal, allegedly, in regards to money. Now, when I first followed them many, many years ago, when the couple first got married, I would hear stories, read stories, see stories about that, William would go to their house and he would have dinner with them, because after all, it's his in-laws, and how the mother, Carol Middleton, would be strict and would say, allegedly, no phones at the table, only William, because, he's, helping run the country or whatever. But But otherwise, I think William liked that family aspect of it, right? However, I believe that William had a true love, which is another young lady. And I don't think she wanted to be a part of the royal family or the pressure of it. And therefore, Kate, they used to call her Kate in waiting. Kate, because her mother pushed her into it also, allegedly, and wanted to see, her mother had that vision, like the two of them were going to be married and she's going to help along the way. And basically, she made it happen. It happened. So I believe that she fit the model of what a future princess, queen is going to look like. The people liked her. She wasn't flashy, and she fit the what was on paper, what the requirements were for a future prince wife. Let's put it like that. And her family, have good family morals and da-da-da-da. But anyway, they're in a scandal right now, the parents. And basically it has to do with money. But I also remember many, many years ago when they first got married that William bought them a house. So, I always think about that. If you marry a billionaire, right? And let's say your family doesn't have a home, like a billionaire status home, what do? Do you help pay off for their current home? Do you give them money or whatever? I think the best person that answered that question for me was Barbara Streisand, which I love. When she got married to her husband, James Brolin, she gave him $1 million, you know what I mean? Because she's worth a lot more. And whatever, he has his own money and everything, but just to say that here, to play around with or whatever. But William did something. I'm sure he's done a lot more for her entire family, now that they're intertwined and in-laws and stuff like that. But somewhere along the line, through all these years, I haven't heard a word about them. And then all of a sudden, I want to say in the summer of 2023, or maybe it happened before then, all this stuff was coming out about how they lost their business allegedly and how they're owe people money. It's like gotten out of hand. Now, keep in mind that here we are with a timeline. So keep track of what I'm about to say right now. You're listening to GO10LISA podcast with Lisa Waldron, where you can find a new episode each week by typing in GO, the number 10, followed by LISA. GO10LISA podcast can be found on any podcast app. So this happened in the summer of 2023, or maybe a little bit before that, right? So here comes this big news that they're in trouble financially and with money. And then here we are coming to December, coming into the new year of 2024, and within a week or so into the new year, then we hear, a week or two into the new year, then we hear that not only is Kate going into surgery for abdominal surgery, but also King Charles is going in for, to look at his prostate, down there. And I'm like, First it was all quiet, right? Like all quiet, like there wasn't that much media news outlet about the Middletons and what their financial thing. Kate was kind of quiet, I don't think they've seen her that much or any public appearances or whatever, and I was like, interesting. And now the two of them are having surgery at the same time, which things can happen like that. But then William decides that he's going to take a break because his wife is in surgery. So therefore, and now the Bob Marley movie premiere in Jamaica, Harry and Meghan attended that one. But they attended that one, which was right before the news broke that King Charles has cancer. So if they think about this now, guys, if they had attended the LA opening, it would have been conflict because the LA opening was right a day before or the day of when he announced that he has cancer. Now, here's the stranger part. They don't know what kind of they're not saying what kind of cancer he has. I think it's all a smokescreen. And then they said that Kate had her surgery, but she's going to be out of it for 14 days. And then they put out a statement saying that, oh, she won't be back until Easter, which Easter is March 31st. Now they put out another statement saying that she's not going to return to royal duties or appearances until June. So then, I'm seeing all of these videos and I'm seeing all these announcements, and I said to myself, should I even do a video about it? Because I just feel like it's a smokescreen. Where's Kate? Where's Kate hiding? Where are they hiding her? So I thought to myself, the only logical thing, this is what I thought, guys. First, I thought when they said 14 days and they said abdominal, which is around your stomach area, I thought that she had an ectopic pregnancy. And basically, what that is that the egg gets caught in the fallopian tube, and therefore if you don't take it out or have surgery, which is technically considered like an abortion, but it's for medical needs because it's trapped in there, and if you don't take it out, then you yourself can pass away. That's what I first thought when I heard abdominal surgery, that maybe it was an ectopic pregnancy. That's just allegedly what I thought, right? Who am I? But that's what I thought. And I was like, that would explain the 14 days because technically it is a loss of a baby. I don't care what stage it's at in the pregnancy. It's still a baby. That's what I initially thought. Then came my second thought as more and more weeks went by and nobody had seen her. Some people make some very interesting, good points. When she first had her first child, homegirl came out of there in the hospital with her blue dress, copying like what Princess Diana wore, like a blue dress also. She wore something similar. And she came out the hospital with her baby to say, look at me. And guess what? I can relate because I did something similar. Not like that, but then you're so excited when you have your first baby. You just want to show off, you know what I mean? You just want to say, here, hey, So she came up, but more props to her. She came out like the next day and said, here I am. Here's our baby, our first baby. And she was like, you all going to take, she's probably thinking like, you all going to take your pictures and then I'm going to go home and take care of my baby. And that's what she did. And then when she had baby number 2 and 3, she did something similar, right? So here it is that she supposedly had surgery, but nobody has seen her for weeks. So then when it came like past the 14 days, I'm saying to myself, what's really going on here? What kind of surgery would make you be out for 14 weeks if it's an abdominal surgery? Then I thought to myself that there's no way that King Charles is going to go in and do prostate checkup, right? Because there's always a chance that it can go bad or good, right? So I kind of feel like the family already knew the diagnosis, hence why Meghan and Harry went to the Jamaica opening. Because if they had gone to the LA opening, it'd have been, oh my gosh, they went to the opening and his father has cancer. I think it was all strategically plotted. And forgive me, Meghan and Harry, if that wasn't the case, and truly and honestly, it was just a coincidence. But the one thing it did show is that Jamaica people did not boo them when they came versus when William and Kate came before them, months before, they got booed and had to go home. Because I think people are sick and tired of fakeness and the hypocrisy, and there's no change. And then people see how the people in Europe treated Meghan. You know what I mean? And so it's all about the timing. So then, here comes Camilla. She's showing, like, look at me. I'm visiting my husband because he's in the hospital. And then there were rumors that William was not allegedly visiting Kate while she was in the hospital, which was also weird. But then again, Camilla, I can see whether it was a plot to show, hey, look at me. But hey, the woman has been with Charles all these years in the waiting herself until situations worked out for her. So I didn't expect less of her because I still think she would have visited him regardless, you know what I mean? Because, they've been going on for years and I think that they really care for each other, But the more Kate stays away, the more I think that maybe William had something to do with it. Oh, and here's my third thing that I thought about. Like, why would she be out for 14 days or longer? What surgery? Because I don't believe it was abdominal. I don't believe it was abdominal. I actually think it was a facelift. I think that, okay, I'm going to stretch it out there now, guys. Let's say that the royal family knew that King Charles was going in, or maybe they knew it was bad because he was already showing symptoms that it could be bad, right? I had people in my family that had prostate cancer, the guys, so I kind of know. They know. Anytime you're sick to the point of surgery, you have signs and symptoms before it happened the majority of the time, right? So I think that they knew. And then maybe Kate wanted to get a facelift. That could only explain why the long periods of time. Because maybe she's thinking, allegedly, like I'm going to be the next queen. If King Charles passed away, then I'm going to be the next queen. And my eyes look baggy, or my chin or something. And she just needed a little touch, like a little, I won't say BBL, but like a little fixer-upper, because now it's going to be a historic moment for her. You know what I mean? But that was my thought. But the way that they showed the cars going into the hospital and driving in at night, why was she going at night if it was a scheduled surgery? You know what I mean? Like, was she preparing and had to go in there the night before, or maybe the time change? There's so many questions, and here we are like saying this and that, and I still think that it's all a plot. But then Kate is where? So then after the 14 days, they're like, oh, she's recuperated. Oh, but she's at home. So William is like, they put out an announcement that William is going to take time off to care for the children, which they then reported that it's the nannies and so-and-so who's bringing the children to school. But that don't mean anything, because he could be doing stuff behind the scenes, whatever, because he had to take over his father's role and take care. But then Charles' brother just came back from a trip and took a week off. That was the first sign. When Prince Edward came back from his overseas trip and then canceled all of his stuff for a week, that was the first sign, people, because after that, that's when King Charles announced his thing. So they knew. I believe that they knew. And it's very strategic, because whatever is going on with Kate, whether it's William's fault, whether it's she's having cosmetic surgery, whatever the case may be. And then there was a rumor that right around the time that the father was supposed to go into the hospital, that William wanted a divorce, allegedly. So even if there's like different scenarios running all around. So if that was the case, I think maybe they got into an argument. I still feel like maybe William lost it in rage or something, allegedly, or whatever. I don't know. But the only thing that can help them right now is just show the woman. Show the woman and make sure that the woman is okay. People want to know, but not even her family came to visit her or whatever. Now let's play out these scenarios that I have presented to you or whatever, right? Number one is an ectopic pregnancy. Even if she had an ectopic pregnancy, allegedly or whatever, maybe that was the last baby, or maybe she wasn't expecting it because she is getting up there in age, like all of us, and for all the previous pregnancies that she's always had difficulty with them, especially in the first or second trimester, because of some rare thing that she has in carrying children. Not everybody can carry a baby so naturally, people do struggle with certain things. So it all depends on how far along she was, and it takes an emotional stride on you. And maybe the doctors told her that she can't have any more kids after this surgery. Maybe they have to remove and give her a hysterectomy. That's the only thing else I can think of, is that leading into that, and give her a hysterectomy. And then her thoughts of not having any more kids, that's going into your mental space right there, right? So that's scenario number one. Scenario number two is that she's having cosmetic surgery because, she wants to have, a little tucker up here and there, and that takes time to heal. Or maybe she had the surgery and the scars are still visible. And that's the only thing I can think of that could take longer like that, and maybe she didn't expect the news about Charles or whatever the case may be, or maybe the surgery didn't go well and she looks completely different and she had to do a reversal, or not a reversal, but more surgery. Who knows, That's the only thing I can think of, but I really don't think it's abdominal like what they said, unless, of course, it's scenario number one. Scenario number three. Scenario number three is that that William wanted to get a divorce, allegedly, and they got into an argument, and maybe there was fighting or something, and maybe she got pushed or fell allegedly or something, or maybe she tripped and fell, who the heck knows, and then maybe she injured herself on her stomach, whether it was a glass or a table or something, and then had to have surgery. That's the only thing I can think of in regards to scenario number three. But they're covering up that one allegedly, if that is the one, because it looks bad on him, and that news can never come out. So therefore, while in surgery, they're going to sedate her and keep her on bed rest and whatever for the rest of her life, I think. Either that or to the point that something that they're going to say that the surgery didn't go well, and she needs care and hospital care, and they're going to come back and say that there's complications to the surgery, and therefore she's going to have to be somewhere or whatever, and then therefore, if he's seen with other women, I know I'm reaching. If he's seen with other women, it would be perfectly acceptable because, I don't know. I just think that one, I don't know. I've given you three. I thought I gave you a fourth one, but anyway, let's stick with those three. The ectopic one, the cosmetic surgery, and if there was some kind of outburst or rage because of the news that he wanted a divorce, but they never anticipated that Charles was going to get sick. So therefore they couldn't announce it because it would take the focus off of Charles, and that whole family is jealous of each other and everybody wants the attention. But if only they realized that it doesn't matter who gets the attention, it's still going back to the royal family and you still can, whatever. But here is something very, very interesting, guys. On previous episodes that I did, I don't recall which one, but on previous episodes, I think I was talking about Megan and defending her again. And basically, I said, and I don't wish anybody any harm, death, or anything like that, but I said in my previous podcast that if the Queen dies, Charles is not going to reign for much long. He's going to reign for a short time, and then William will become king. And then I said that they should get rid of the whole monarchy. So it's interesting when all this news broke out that it may look like it's going that way. I don't know, because people are saying that people are not interested in the monarchy as much. Other monarchies around the world are either passing it on to their heir, or they're just low key keeping it down. But I also said in that podcast that no other monarchy is as big as the the British royal family one. But there's too many backstabbing, too many secrecies, too many things playing out. And at the end of the day, it is a family. It's their family. We're just seeing it in the public eye. And I also said, every family has problems, you know what I mean? Or issues or situations. And if it was being played out in front of everyone, how would you feel? You know, because people are always going to speculate. People are always going to talk. What would you feel? I wish Kate the best. Even though I don't follow her as much, I wish her the best, because at the end of the day, she is human. Some people are saying it's karma because of how she treats Megan and other people. And karma is something, you know, if that is the case. But whatever scenario it is, I just hope that the truth comes out, because it seems to me like 2024 is the year of the truth. Everybody is exposing everybody. And I think that Charles, the impression that I got from watching The Crown and watching his body language and his demeanor over the years, I want to say that he's the kind of person where he wants to use the media. He wants to use the media as far as transparency, but not total transparency. In other words, I appreciate that he came out and said, hey guys, I have cancer. Whereas in the past, from what they're saying, his previous generation, like his mother and previous people, they would never tell you if they're sick. They keep everything behind closed doors. There's lots of families that are like that to this day. You know what I mean? So for him to come out and step out a little bit and be in tune with the times and be in time in whatever, to me, I was looking at him because they showed a picture today of him and Camilla going to the church. And he does look a little thin. But here is the thing. So then another report came out and said, oh, so let me give you another time track. Oh, Kate is in the hospital. It's going to be 10 to 14 days. But then she won't be able to make royal appearances until Easter and now June. William thought he's going to take off the whole time, but then only to be told by the king that you need to get back to work. So he started work this past Wednesday, which was what, the 8th or 6th, 7th, 8th or somewhere this past, what day is today? 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, the 7th. So he had to get back to work at some helicopter, emergency helicopter dinner thing or whatever with Tom Cruise there, and Sister Sledge is there. And I'm like, why is Tom Cruise over there? So that's a whole nother thing. But anyway, I know that Sister Sledge, the famous band, they always do tours and stuff in England anyway, in Europe anyway. So here's a timeline. So then they said, oh, she's in the hospital. Oh, then Charles is visiting her at the hospital because after all, they're supposed to be in the same hospital, right? But still, there is no sign of William. Then, allegedly, then I'm like, they can easily sneak in and out of the hospital if they really wanted to with no one seeing them. But you would think that they want them to see him visiting his wife, but he never did. So that means that he did a Zoom meeting with his wife, or maybe she wasn't alert, because there's also rumors allegedly that she's in a coma. There's so many things going on. I think now they're trying to plan out how they're trying to do the timing, I think, strategically on how to break the news. I think they're waiting to see how everything is going to play out and stuff like that. I think there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes. And rightfully so, it's their business, right? But then they came out and said, "Oh, she left the hospital." Now, here is where the bells went off in my head, okay? So, paparazzi in Europe trailed Princess Diana to the point that the car was going fast and then crashed, and then she died with her boyfriend and whatever, and the other guy, the security guy, may their souls rest in peace. But here's the thing. If paparazzi know that you're a hotel, if paparazzi see you down at the fish market, if paparazzi see you doing yoga, if paparazzi see you know that you're having a baby, paparazzi know that you're at the hospital, you don't think paparazzi is going to cover every single door and exit of the hospital to see that you're leaving and check out and say, follow that car, follow that car, follow that car, everyone that has left? Come on. I don't think she left the hospital. And then they're saying, oh, she's at home recovering, allegedly. Then there's news report, oh no, she's at the mother's house recovering, allegedly. But oh no, the latest one is, oh no, she's at Sandringham with King Charles and Camilla with the kids recovering. But yet William was not there. Because King Charles is has cancer, allegedly have cancer. They won't say what kind of cancer, but I believe they're going to come back and say, give it a couple of months and say, oh, the cancer treatment is going well. I think they're stalling for time, guys. I really think they're stalling for time. And it's so sad if this is all fake news. And it is so sad if you're using health to cover up what's really going on. Everything will come to light one day, and I think the Middletons are afraid to say anything because of probably the help that they're getting with so many things throughout the years and their current situation. I have no idea what's going on. Like I said, I hope for the best. I just wanted to talk about it because it's very, very suspicious. They're not obligated to tell the media anything, right? But why put it out there that she was in the hospital? You could have kept it quiet, you know what I mean? But now it's like 14 days, going on to weeks, going on to months and whatever. And how is it that the kids and her is where King Charles is? How does she get there with nobody seeing the car and the kids? So that means that the kids are going to be out of school, or they're going to be tutored, you know what I mean? These are questions I would ask my family if something like this was going on in my family, God forbid, you know what I mean? But it's like, what's really going on? Where is she now? What story are they going to come back with? Let's see which scenario I've mentioned is going to play out. I hope none of them, but I think there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure because she went from being a princess and not really having to know much, just playing the wife and the mother, to now being the next in command kind of princess, which is additional duties. If anything happens to King Charles, you're now the queen with extra duties, and with extra duties, you need to be at a certain level with your knowledge and whatever, and maybe the stress of it all and being a mother and the routine and everything has to change. Maybe she cracked. Maybe she just had a moment where everything just said, whoa, I need a break. I need a break. And that would be totally fine if she came out and said that. Everybody would understand that. But it's just going on and on and on with all of these, like nobody has seen her. So if nobody has seen her, I'm kind of leaning more towards the cosmetic surgery. I am. And if she, and scenario number four, I'll put it out there. If she is in some kind of coma for whatever it is, or let's hope not, then they're not going to break the news now. They're going to delay that for whatever reason. I don't know. But yeah, it's something huge to the point that the entire royal family, except for Princess Anne, she probably took a couple of days off, just said pause for a moment. And yes, I did notice that all of them were wearing black, even when Prince Harry came and saw his father for a few minutes and whatever. And then there's so many other stories that I think are fake in regards to Harry and what's going on, saying he was booed at something. He said some mean things. I was like, where is all this coming from? You know what I mean? Let me tell you something. When you're in the public eye, there are so many things that people are going to speculate about you, like myself. And some of it is true, some of it is not true. And even if you come out and tell the truth, I think people will respect you more. But people are still going to criticize, right? So you're not going to please everybody. And I think that's the key here. You're not going to please everybody. But at least at the end of the day, whatever they do is going down in the history books. They're going to be looking at that family and saying, oh, this happened during this time frame or whatever. Hey, they had people in their family who were alcoholics. You understand me? I'm sure the people that have passed away probably adulterers, extra kids out, the whole 9 yards, you know? And the news came out, you know? I mean, there's been scandals in the family before or whatever. So, but for her not to be seen, especially when the parents had financial problems. Now, here goes the fifth scenario, which is totally, totally, totally out there. What if this is all tied into the parents and then somebody kidnapped her and they're holding her for ransom, God forbid, allegedly? You know what I mean? Until they get paid. I don't know. Let's hope not, because they have security. Do you see how far-fetched I'm going? And this is what people are going to be doing if they just come up with the news. I didn't really want to talk about Kate because I don't like the way that they treated Meghan and Harry. And because I do believe, and I said it before in previous podcasts, that it was the Queen, Camilla, and Kate who had a lot to say in regards to Meghan and Harry. So yeah. But guys, I hope that you guys stay tuned for more episodes. I guess we will find out the truth eventually. I just hope that everything is okay for everybody's sake. And let's hope that somebody in that family can just say, this is what's happening. We just respect our privacy. Or show the woman, where is she now? What are they going to come up with now and say, where is she? Because Charles can't stay out into the country in Sandringham all the time. And now he's doing holistic and not doing chemo. Does he really have cancer? You know what I mean? All these thoughts are going through. I don't know. It's kind of like, I feel like they're buying time, but buying time for what? For who? I wish everyone the best. Even if he does have it, I just hope that he and his family find the peace, because obviously they need peace to get through these difficult times, and whatever else is about to come out. So, guys, I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. Until next time, peace, love, bye. And everything is all alleged, by the way. Bye.